say, okay, who's the most, who's the junior ranked soldier here? Usually it's an E2, private E2, or a PFC. And then I gave him a little scenario. I said, if I walked up to you and I said, okay, private E2 Jones or PFC Jones, I said, go over there and I want you to do a complete 100% from head to toe, PCC, PCI on your first sergeant. With all this gear on, how would you feel? How do you think they'd feel? Intimidated. Okay? They're nervous. All right? Just imagine when a leader asks a soldier, a junior enlisted soldier, come up and check his weapon. How do you think they'd do it? How do you think they'd feel? They're not going to do as well as you think they ought to do because they don't have the experience to do it. You're putting a lot of pressure on them to do that. And that's where the mistakes come in. They're not really, all they are is just standing there. They're not going to do anything else. Okay? So those soldiers don't have the experience. The leaders do. But at the same time as I'm saying that, we've had leaders stand there inspecting other leaders and we still have a negligent discharge. Because just as junior enlisted soldiers feel, they feel that leaders don't make mistakes. Leaders feel that other leaders don't make mistakes, and they do. We all make mistakes. We go on these long patrols, we come back, we may have had a hard day at home, something didn't go right, we're not thinking right. Leader's up there with the weapon, the other leader's there, looking at him saying, well, you know what, he's done this a million times. He doesn't make mistakes. So instead of watching him to intervene, if he's getting ready to make a mistake, he's over here directing his soldiers, he's looking at something else. And next thing you know, shoots around inside the barrel. Okay? So we have to clear that up. That's the reason why we don't want junior enlisted soldiers inspecting other leaders. The commander and I have sergeants, E5, stand there clearing us. Okay? Just think about the pressure they're on, but we make them feel comfortable enough so they can do this. Okay? I can't clear myself. I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. All of you in here will make a mistake. You have to have somebody there with enough experience to stand there and stop you or intervene, take that weapon from you and say, you just made a mistake. Stop. Okay? That's the only way we're going to be able to clear this. The negative discharge that we just had is off of a 240 on a vehicle that's moving. Now, we just put a policy letter out that says, do not clear a weapon when a vehicle is moving. So, everything went wrong there, from the patrol leader on to the soldier's supervisor. There's nobody checking the status of that weapon. You just ask the soldier to clear the weapon, and the vehicle's moving. That's the worst thing you can do. Okay? So it's just all bad. None of it is good. And that has to stop. And it's all about that discipline that we're talking about, that we're battling while we're down here. And if you don't straighten it out, again, it's going to go right on the plane with you, and you're going to walk right back to the home station with it. At the end of this is what you can take from this. Okay? Bottom line is the platoons that go through here, they have a great time at it, they learn something, it's a relaxed day for them. At the end of the day, we get good, positive feedback, okay? But what we're looking for is when they go through this training and they come out of it, we don't expect them to have to come back to this, okay? You got to leave out of here knowing that you have to do these things right, okay? You have to take care of your soldiers. That's the bottom line. Just take care of your soldiers. Protect them. Do everything in your powers to take care of them. Do everything that you can to get them back in one piece. All right? And I'm saying this to you because I need you to get that down to your platoon leaders and your platoon sergeants. The platoon sergeant is the most experienced enlisted senior non-commissioned officer inside that platoon. He's got all the experience in the world. He's going to dictate the direction of the platoon and where it goes. Right? If you can't do that, you are in big trouble. Okay? And I'm telling you this, my experience as a platoon sergeant, and which direction I think the platoon needed to go in. Okay? Because I had the experience. I had the knowledge and experience. I knew my soldiers. I knew every single one of them. So if you can get your platoon sergeants to do this right, if you can get this to work right, then you won't have all these different that we're having right now, dealing with patrols rolling around out there. Yeah, patrols that roll around out there with impunity. I don't think nobody's gonna mess with them. Well, you got that wrong, because I'm gonna stop them. I will stop them. If I pass by your patrol, I'm gonna figure it out. Okay? Only because I care about the soldiers. I want to make sure that they're doing the right thing. All right? You gotta get the soldiers to believe that wearing equipment, putting on their seatbelts, or doing all those things that will take care of them is the right thing to do, and it will save their lives. And if you do that, then